and welcome to Tuesday's tutorial. I'm Jane from Loopy's Place, and you'll find me either here in my sewing room at home or in my studio where I have classes as well. The tutorials that I'm sharing with you on a Tuesday are based on the classes that I have in the community. So these are full tutorials, explain every step through the process. If you wish to, adjust the speed on YouTube and you can whiz through quicker. I hope you enjoy it. Without any further ado, here's today's tutorial. So this time we're going to make a couple of zip pouches. I'm going to make two at the same time. You'll see one ends up smaller than the other, and that's how, due to the way that it's finished. So we've got one, I'm going to get it unzipped, is finished with French seams on the inside. The other one is finished with binding, so you can get a nice flash of colour inside as well. I'm using zip off the roll, so I've just cut one piece and I've got two zip pulls to make two separate ones. We don't need those yet. I'm going to start off with two squares of fabric, 10 inches square, and you're going to fold them and press them in half diagonally. And then for the binding you need some binding strip. So I think this was about 14 and a half, between 14 and 15 inches long, which was big enough to do one of these pouches. The reason I'm saying we're going to do two at a time is when you're sewing it onto here, I'm just leaving my regular foot on. It's quite narrow, so it's alright for zips, but I find that if I do a zip with this one, I can attach it and rest one side of my foot on the teeth, and it just gives it enough balance to keep me level all the way down. So I'm going to do two at the same time, so you're going to get two for the price of one. And as I said, you can finish them off the same or do one of each. So to get started, we're going to add the zip. Okay, so I'm taking the folded side and I'm going to take that up to the teeth, right next to it, lift my foot up, but the right side of my foot is actually resting on top of the teeth, and I'm going to sew close to the edge and sew that side on. So you've got nice press fold in your triangle. You can line that up next to the teeth, and you're just going to sew that in place right to the end. There we go. Now you don't need to line these up because they're not going, each side is going to be separate, so I'm going to just add the second one onto the second side. Again, line the edge of your triangle against the edge of your zip. Place my zip on top. And I'm just going to take that all the way down to the end. And now we're going to separate our zips. So we're just going to pull it apart. There we are. Right, okay, so what I'm going to do here is, because I want my zip to be, fabric to line up, I'm going to trim the excess off that side. Trim a bit more off. There we go. Now I can put my zip on. There we go. Then I can fold that up. And I'm just going to trim the zip off this side. And then off this side. There we go, get rid of those. So this one we're going to add the binding on, so I'm going to open the zip just a bit. I'm going to fold that through. And then I'm going to line the edges up. Now this time with the binding, it helps if you fold it in half, press it, fold the edges in, press and fold it again like this. You can use commercial binding if you wish. I'm just going to fold the corner in. And I'm just going to clip it in place. So when I'm doing binding, I don't generally clip it in place, but I did find for doing this, it's worth just taking that time. And when it gets to the corner, you just want to make sure you can get a nice righted corner. So I'm just going to clip that round in place around the corner, and then I'm going to, so the back's gone nicely. I'm just going to lift that one up. Back and front's nicely mitered. Put the clip back there. Come to the end. I'm just going to cut that just after the end. And I can fold that in. Trim that off a bit. There we go. There we go. So actually I've folded the end of that side in, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to do that same here, just to enclose the end. Stick that on there just to hold that in place. Just slightly increase your stitch length. I'm just going to start just in from the edge. I'm going to reverse back to the top end, and you're going to go straight round here, and you're going to be sewing both sides together. Just going to hold that in place. There we go. if you need to, you can just make sure that that's nicely enclosed. There we go. Now I can turn around. You want to make sure that corner bit is stitched as well. Come down to the final end. Reverse at the end. And there we have it. And that's your pouch done. So just check that you've got your binding on both sides done, and then you can turn it through. There is your pouch done, ready for storing things in. And now we're going to go back to the other one, and we're going to finish this with French seams. Go, so zip that up, and I'm going to fold together, trim the edges, Now this time, because we're going to finish with French seams, we're just going to sew around these two edges. I'm using about 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. All the way down to the bottom, and then on the other side. There we are. I'm going to open the zip, turn it through. I'm going to pop out the corners. There we go. And this time I'm going to reverse beginning and end. I'm going to go around these two corners. I'm going to use 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, slightly more. Just going to just take your time over the zip, just to make sure the needle can slide down in between. And then we're going to come back round and we're going to do this final edge. Reverse. And there you have it. I can put that back through to the other side. And there you have two very quick, let's just cut that thread off, ways of creating a little pouch so you can hold phone charger, earphones, keys, lipstick, little essentials that you just need to keep safe. And there you have it. I'm just going to push that corner out. Go. So two very quick projects there to do, and they will make great gifts as well. I do hope you enjoyed that. If you need any help with making adjustments to suit yourself, please get in touch. I'd be happy to help. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel, hit the bell below, and you'll get notifications when new content is added. I look forward to speaking to you again very soon, but in the meantime, do take care. Bye for now.